In the spas, generally, meditation is advertised as to calm your mind, to free you from stress. But what is it that is making you stress the most? It is attachment to this life. That is making you really go through the stress. So, to keep the agenda to build your life intact, you keep the agenda of making the life, the attachment to this life intact, and then try to free from stress is a bit of a contradiction. So, even scientifically, this statement from Dr. Jensen or Sachin Vivek was not just a religious sort of instructions or some kind of a super natural instructions. It is a very scientific, it is very rational. As long as you have attachment to this life, that is the cause of all the stress. That's the mother of all the cause of the stress. So that is what you don't want, attachment to this life. If you do have attachment to this life and then you meditate based on the mind stream of attachment to this life, then it is like long-term attention. It is really like pointless. It's like without having proper concentration, proper understanding, reading the sutras or sadhanas, with your mind going everywhere. Not only that, remember this, attachment to this life. If you have attachment to this life, and if you meditate, even though you are somewhere very, very quiet, isolated, doing retreat, in reality, you have duzichen. Duzi means you are busy, you have engagement, because you are engaged with attachment, because you have attachment to this life, so you are busy, you are occupied, you are not free, basically. Such kind of meditation will just cause arrogance, so that condemning or criticizing other criticizing those who are doing the hearing and contemplation. Such kind of meditation will just create envy and jealousy towards those who also meditate. Such kind of meditation, even though it is labeled as a meditation, it is nothing more than a subtle or a big distraction. It's basically a distraction. It's so logical. Can you see? Meditation generally means okay, we can go through some of the terms. Okay, one of the Tibetan word, nyamja. That's a very big word, by the way. Nyam has a connotation of equality or equanimity, which also indicates or refers to non-duality. Ja is like really leaving it alone, not poking, not altering, not fabricating, just leaving it alone, keeping it as it is, not altering, not posing, not leaving things as they are or as it is. That's the definition of nyamja, which is also another name for meditation. This is not possible if you have attachment to this life. Because if you have attachment to this life, you cannot afford not to pause. You cannot afford not to fabricate. You have to always alter, because that's the ultimate aim. So the word Rangi Gompanaming Chen, I think, has a lot of meaning here. Since deep inside your agenda, your ultimate agenda is not to let go this life, you have already planted the seed of the distraction, because that itself is the distraction. Attachment to this life is the cause of the distraction. This is support, this is really taught in every sutras or shastras. For instance, Shantideva also said, Shine Rabda the Tandu number of Jabashation, Thomas Shineza, and Jitin Chapa number 2. In order for us to achieve enlightenment, what do we need? We need insight wisdom, or basically we need to recognize, understand, or realize the truth, which is according to the Buddha Dharma, which can be achieved by understanding the selflessness of phenomena and the selflessness of a person or a ego or self. That kind of insight wisdom can only be established if you have a steady or a stable, unwavering, unshakable foundation of shamatha or shine, that's calm, abiding. I don't know how you translate that. Basically, that's what you need to achieve. You need to establish the shine. You have to really make shine or the shamatha is basically to make your mind malleable, workable. At the moment, our mind is not malleable. For instance, when we are angry, you cannot really decide, okay, in 10 seconds I'm going to stop my anger, and then sort of count like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, my anger stopped. You can't really do that. You can't switch it off. You can't. And also, if when you feel like getting angry, you can't also get angry, because you can't, for instance, if I ask you, can you please get angry with me for like 10 seconds, you can't do that. What does this mean? Okay, and then when cause and conditions are there, when all the cause and conditions are there to make you angry, even though you try so hard, you still get angry. So what does this mean? This means our mind has not become malleable, which means our mind has become like a piece. Our mind has become like a piece of wood, stone, rigid. You cannot really mend it. You cannot make it. You cannot switch it off. You cannot switch it on. You cannot make it flat. You cannot make it, long, short. You can't do anything. When it comes, it just comes, and you just have to live with it, so to speak. When our mental factors, when they, such as anger, when they become very, very big, when they are not okay, they come, they grow, they nurture, they grow and grow, and then because everything is cause and condition, therefore they are impermanent. At the start, okay, they start very small, and then they become bigger and bigger, and then they grow, and after a while, They are aging. Your anger is aging. So your anger naturally sort of subsides and goes down. That has got nothing to do with the power of the meditation. It's just because cause and condition of your anger has gone or getting really weak, therefore your anger is going down. So this is what we call, in our mundane world, time will heal everything. Time will help everything. But this does not prove that our mind has become malleable. In fact, it's the other way around. It means that our mind has so dependent on cause and condition. And cause and condition, as you know, there is no such a visible set of cause and conditions that guarantees that will upset you. Anything can upset you. As you must know, our mood, the mood, the greatest, if it is tool, it is one of the greatest inventions. Mood. One moment you are in a good mood. While you are having breakfast, you have a good mood. And then for no reason at all. Is it the cereal? Is it the milk? Is it the weather? Doesn't matter. Mood is off. Another bad, like that. So we are totally dependent on cause and condition. This proves that our mind is so rigid. But at the same time, it's also good news, by the way. This also means that if we can manipulate cause and condition, then we can also manipulate its effect. So, calm abiding is difficult because our mind is very rigid. Okay, the question here at this point, the question here is, what is it that is making our mind rigid? What is it that is really making our mind rigid? The real cause that is making our mind so rigid consistently all the time in big number is attachment to jikten, when transitory phenomena. Well, in this case, it is basically attachment to this life. It is the attachment to this life that is making our mind rigid. There is no flexibility. You are attached to this life, so options are very little. There is not so much option. So this is why Shantideva, in all his 8 chapters of Bodhicharya Avatara, from 10 directions he attacks attachment to this life. Not only this life, but in his text it goes on in many with attachment to a lot of things. So Okay, so just furthermore about meditation, which is the part of we are basically talking about abandoning the attachment to this life. So, on top of this is basically the framework. If you have attachment to this life, you are not a Dharma practitioner. So, how to abandon the attachment to this life? First, you have the refuge, some kind of a discipline. For that, we talked about the refuge. And with this vow as a foundation, we do the hearing, contemplation, and meditation. Within the category of hearing, contemplation, and meditation, indirectly, all the teachings of mind training is included, basically. Especially the mind training, the technique of mind training based on, classically we call it remembering the precious human body and remembering or acknowledging or practicing the impermanence, basically, thinking of impermanence. Now, precious human body. What makes a certain human body precious? There are detailed explanations such as 8 freedoms, 10 different kinds of endowment and all that, which you basically can read the commentaries in different commentaries such as Bodhicharya Avatara, or also the commentary to Bodhicharya Avatara. Fairly easy to understand, intellectually at least. But for now, in order for us to make this practical, let us discuss a little bit about precious human body from the practical point of view. There is a very beautiful account of a hunter who went to see Milarepa. There is a nice song sang by Milarepa. And in there, basically, Milarepa said, looking at you, human life is not that precious, not that rare.